Hello guys, this is Mike from Deathless Gaming, and tonight I am going to be doing a Warface Team Deathmatch Guide.
Someday I'll let you apologize, and I'll accept your apology, and tell you just exactly what I see. I live my life like a guilty. Hey, made out
Alright guys, so what is Team Deathmatch? Well, I've always felt Team Deathmatch is good for basically getting into the harder types of matches for plant, the bomb, or capture. The reason I say this is because, it's just, one versus one, team versus team. Get as many kills as possible, not too much pressure. It's a great way for new players who don't really care about KD to, get familiar with the game, try out new weapons they've unlocked. It can get a little hairy once you're a pro and you, worry about your KD, and if you get matched with a team of pros, that can be dangerous. But for a new player, Team Deathmatch can be pretty valuable for learning about the game. So, with Team Deathmatches, here are some tips. You want to be aggressive, but in the right places. So, study the map. Their maps are so different, usually, but they're mostly close quarters, and a lot of the people will take the same routes. Sometimes there'll be campers here and there. So if you push on parts where they aren't being as aggressive, or they're not any campers, you can get flanks pretty easily. And when that happens, as long as you don't get shot in the back from somebody coming out of the spawn, you can pretty much annihilate anybody coming up to attack your side of the map. So, loadouts. Don't always use heavies. Yes, Team Deathmatch is a very effective place for the heavy, but it's not the only class. I prefer Engineer and Medic because that offers a lot of variety. They don't run necessarily faster than the heavy, but they do offer higher damage at close range. And close range damage is something you want for most Team Deathmatch maps. And I say that because there are some Team Deathmatch maps, I think like 1 or 2, that aren't as good for close range. But mostly, you want close range, fast damage weapons. And that's what Medic and Engineer provide you. Also, you can heal yourself with Medic and Engineer, which is something which is very valuable. Also, be prepared to change tactics. So, if you think of that, what I was talking about, where you be aggressive in certain spots, push certain sides of the maps as opposed to others, the players aren't stupid. They're gonna say, okay, this guy keeps getting our flank, and we just keep getting wiped by him. So we're gonna place claymores there, and then every 1 or 2 lives, you're gonna go there and you're gonna get blown up by a claymore. So be prepared to change tactics. You don't have to use one tactic for necessarily even an entire match. A lot of times you're going to have to change tactics for what situation you're in. So it's going to depend on the match, it's going to depend on the map, and it's going to depend on how the players are going to react to it. Remember that. So don't be afraid to die. KDR, kills to death ratio, it's important for, getting into clans and stuff, but that's when you become a pro, and you're going to be right now learning as a newer player. I'm hoping this is the guide I'm giving out to newer players, because really, even if you go, only 10 kills, but you got, 20 deaths, that's horrible, but it can help you train yourself how to use a new weapon, learn what kind of tactics you want to use in this game. You gotta learn sometime, you gotta do horrible sometime. In my opinion, the time to do that is in Team Deathmatch, not plant the bomb where you're gonna really cause people to lose an entire match. And it's very team dependent in those matches, and you don't really want to screw up in those ones, in my opinion. So normally I say don't camp. It can get hairy, but some people say you can get pretty effective camping in certain areas, which to some extent is true. Always watch your corners because campers are just rampant in team deathmatch. And that's because people, like I said, when they're thinking about tactics, they're going to memorize routes of where everybody's going, or if they're trying to get the flank, they'll just hide behind, let them get the flank, and then shoot them in the back. And camping I can understand why people are mad at it, but it is a valid tactic if you know how to use it and you're proactive with it. Also, throw grenades over high trafficked areas leading out of the spawn. So if you memorize where the 2 exit points for the spawn are, and if you know how to arc your grenade just right when you're halfway across the map, you can pretty much get kills, because they're going to be like 24/7 people leaving that spawn, and that's a very effective way of choking up the enemy. So as soon as they step out, a grenade comes flying out of nowhere and does a mid-air burst. Also, make sure you lay claymores where people are trying to flank you. So that's pretty much all of my advice, I think, for Team Deathmatch. If you have any advice, please add so in the comments. That's pretty much it, guys. This is Mike from Deathless Gaming, signing off.